Hi everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. I wanted to show you how to make a really pretty and easy thank you card. I make a lot of thank you cards. I love to thank anybody who's put an order in for me, or there's all sorts of reasons to thank people. It just doesn't have to be for orders. So I make a lot of thank you cards. And so I'm going to use the Timeless Arrangement stamp set, which has a really lovely thank you in it. Just really simple in lowercase, and you can add some other words around it if you want to, but I'm just going to use the thank you on this one. And I'm going to combine it with the Countryside Inn Designer Series paper, which is absolutely stunning. I can't believe how much I've gone through. And so this is going to be my customer thank you cards for the month of May. Can you believe we're in May already? All right, let me switch over to my desktop and I will show you how to make this card. It's always nice to have quick and easy cards on occasion. So this is the Timeless Arrangement stamp set. There is a stamp set that, actually there are no sentiments with the Countryside Inn, although the Lasting Joy stamp set goes nicely with it as well. But I love this one. There's actually a thanks and there's this thank you that I absolutely love. And so I'm going to use the thank you. There are some smaller images for the inside of the card if you want, but you can actually combine these. So I made a card the other day. This just can't and enough is a single stamp. And so I combined that and then put thank you in the middle of it, which is really kind of a nice way to combine these sentiments. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm using Night of Navy. My plan was actually to use Misty Moonlight, but I have gone through an entire package of Misty Moonlight already, and I'm waiting for my order to come in. So I'm going to switch up and use Night of Navy, and I've cut this 5.5 by 8.5, and we're going to score it at 4 1/4. So I've got it, and when you grab my bone folder, this is the side I scored on, so I'm going to fold into the raised line or into the mountain and give it a good burnish with your bone folder. So as I said, this is a quick and easy card. So I've got a piece of boho blue. Isn't that pretty? And boho blue and Night of Navy is just such a lovely color combination. So this piece is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I've cut one of the pieces of the Designer Series paper from the Countryside Inn. So beautiful, very country. It's got Azure Afternoon. It's got boho blue, Night of Navy, Misty Moonlight. It's all in blues and whites. The other side is stripes, but I'm going to use this really pretty patterned side. So we're going to adhere this on to the front of our card. I love these little, probably doves. We have birds here. I think they're called, I want to call them wood pigeons, but there are some doves here as well that kind of look like this. All right, so there we go. There's almost the front of our card. Told you it was quick and easy. I have cut out a piece of basic white. I believe I've cut this, 1 inch by 2.5. I'm sure this is going to be plenty big for my thank you. All right, so we will just take, and I'm going to use boho blue to stamp. Now this boho blue is actually darker than what you think. It looks quite light. So I'm just going to ink this up. Actually, it's lightening up. I think it was just dark when I started to use it because it was a really juicy pad. And then one of my favorite stamps for some reason is this little stamp that's got these little circles in it. So I'm going to just take and I'm going to stamp off, and I'm just going to kind of stamp these, just add a little bit of detail to my sentiment label. We're going to pop that up using some dimensionals. And then the last thing we're going to add on to our card is ribbon and some embellishments. So I'm just going to put this down here in the corner. You could put a layer behind it if you want. Now I grabbed the Night of Navy ribbon, and I also grabbed the boho blue, and I think I'm going to use the boho blue just it will brighten up the card just a little bit more. So I'm going to cut maybe 3 inches of ribbon like that. Just going to fold it in half, and I'm going to tuck it underneath there, underneath the corner of my label. And we will use a glue dot. And we'll just tuck that underneath there. And then these are the solid gems. They come in 3 colors, lemon lolly, boho blue, and copper clay, I believe. So I'm just going to use the boho blue ones, and I'm just going to put them here. They kind of will get lost if I put them on the designer series paper. Okay, there's the front of our card, and the only thing we need left to do is we're just going to stamp some of these circles down here on the bottom. Oopsie. Maybe we'll put one more in the bottom corner. So you could use whatever color you want, but since I used boho blue on the front of my card, we'll use boho blue on the inside as well. And we will adhere that to the inside. So I can put a note in. Actually, when I send my customer thank you cards out, I always just put a sticky inside thanking them for their order. And that way they can reuse the card again. So isn't that pretty? I think it's so simple, but the designer series paper really is the star of the show for this one. And there's the inside. All right. So if you have any questions about this, it's a pretty easy card. Just leave a comment underneath this video, or if you found your way over to my blog, leave a comment over there, and I'm happy to answer them. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on this YouTube if that's where you're coming in from, and that way you'll get notified when I post a video or when I go live. You can also subscribe to my newsletter if you head over to my blog, stampingwithmelva.com, and you'll be able to subscribe to my newsletter and get all of the updates. All right, so if you haven't got your catalog, you live in Canada and you don't have a demonstrator because the catalog has just launched, you can request a catalog on my blog. And so if you haven't got one, you don't have a demonstrator, and you live in Canada, feel free to make a request for a catalog. If you have put an order in with me in the last year, you should have received a catalog in the mail. So if you haven't received a catalog in the mail and you have put an order in, let me know so that I can send another one to you. All right, everybody, thanks so much for joining me today. Hope you have a great day. Happy stamping. Bye.